Oh. Oh. Is this 2024?
No.
Yeah.
This isn't 2024. What year is it? Who can tell me what year is it?
The 8th of the idiot.
Oh my God! Hi. The 8th of the
Mum.
8th of the month. Anyone know what year it is? I need to know what year it is.
2013.
2000. Oh my. Why do I keep on doing this? Sorry. I'm a time traveller and I keep on aiming for places and landing in places that don't match up. I'm looking for my dad. Has anyone seen him?
Me.
Last time I saw him, he looked like this.
I know. He's under me.
For years and years, I've spent searching.
I know where
I'm trying to follow in the footsteps of him. Who'd have thought it'd be so hard to follow a path that's already been trodden along? Though I guess what we do isn't really walking. For you, it's a bit like plane travelling, time travelling. We hop. So there are no footsteps. So there are very few clues. Why can't he just stay still? Always away on another adventure. The last time I saw him was in the 70s, York, just outside the city walls.
I know who is in York.
He told me to aim for the leap year. But do you know how many leap years there are in a century? Hundreds. And do you know how many centuries there are in a millennium?
No.
Thousands. And do you know how many millenniums are in the entire existence of the universe?
No.
Loads. And then he kept on banging on about a flock of sheep. He said, and I quote, "Those sheep refuse to keep count." Don't laugh. It's an important quote. I'm trying to figure it out. Those sheep refuse to keep count of themselves. They never lose account of themselves. What does that even mean? What does that mean? I thought he was talking about sleep because I don't seem to get much sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I seem to wake up in another place. Last time I slept in a bed, well, it's been so... Wait a second. How didn't I notice straight away? I know this place. It's changed.
Yeah.
Feels bigger.
In my house.
Kind of strange. There was a wall there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Did you knock that through?
Yeah. No.
I just walked through a wall. Charlie! 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 Charlie, where are you? Charlie! Charlie? Charlie! Charlie!
I'm Charlie. I am Charlie.
Are you Charlie?
It's Marco. No, no.
What's your name?
It's Marco. It's Marco.
He's about this tall, brown hair, always wearing shorts, no matter what the season. Loveliest, loveliest boy you'll ever meet. He will shine your shoe with a spit if he had to, or if you wanted him to. So you're Marco.
I'm not here, Charlie.
And do you live here, Marco? This is your home.
And he's my cousin.
All of this is your home.
And my home.
Whoa!
And my house.
Charlie would have loved to buy a house like this. You're a very special man, Marco. So what do you do? How do you earn the money to buy it?
I didn't.
You didn't?
He's only a kid.
I'm only 8.
And he's older.
So what do you work as? Kids work?
Older than Marco because 8 is 9.
You're 8. And so what do you do?
I go to school.
He goes
He goes
to
to
school.
school.
He plays with Lego.
You play with Lego?
Me too.
Whoa! And do you like school?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
We talk together.
And are these your school friends?
George's and Tom.
I'm his best friend.
And Marco.
He is his cousin, and this is his little brother.
I would have loved to go to school. Me and Charlie would have played all day. Charlie never had a day to rest and play. Charlie never had a day to rest and play. Charlie never had a day to rest and play. I wish he did. He had to work all day. He used to work at the factory down the road with his mum. Do you know the Bryant and May? It's a factory for matches. Do you not know it? It's huge and brown. I hope they haven't knocked it down. I followed him there one day. There were loads of girls my age. I thought they were going to get swept in. A lot of them looked really, really grim. When I asked about it that evening, Charlie said to never venture close. He said that the owners might mistake me for a worker, so I never again did go until one day when I had to find Charlie at his work. And when I arrived, I had to widen my eyes because I couldn't believe my ears. And these ears have heard dinosaur roars and non-human sounds from the beginning of the existence of the universe. But these sounds were of women's voices, like Boadicea charging her shrieks down the Roman road. These factory women were loud and clear, defined and wild, piercing like arrows, deliberate. They were chanting. These women were chanting, unleashing the powers they had locked in outside of the factory. And Charlie couldn't get in. So he stood outside with the women, with them, but he didn't seem to want to go through. Rumours of no more work were heard by him, but he wasn't one for believing anything, so he stayed, remained rooted to the spot where he was as the factory, the Bryant and May factory, slowly emptied and grinded to a stop. It was the match day girls' strike, he said. I said it was the match day girls and boys' strike, if you count yourself, Charlie. This fireplace, this isn't the same fireplace that was here before, is it?
No,
Where's it from?
from Southeast London from Italy via Southeast London.
Italy.
Just outside Carrara.
Oh. Update. No wall, no Charlie, but you're quite nice, Marco, so. Marco.
But you're not taking a picture of him anyway.
Fireplace. Italy, you say?
Italy.
And that's where Marco
Funny enough. What did you say? Well, I know. Well, I don't know. Well, I did know. I kind of did know her. But I know of a woman called Sylvia through Charlie's daughter's Rose. Sylvia refused to marry, but she had had a baby with a man from Italy, which at that time was enough to get you estranged from your family. She lived near to here at one point, just down the road. She was well inspired by the girls of the factory. What did you say? Yeah, she was inspired by the girls of the factory. The big factory, the Bright and May. She was. The match day girl strike she used to reference a lot. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Stand up for your... That's exactly what Sylvia used to say. Exactly. A big wolf. Oh, it all links together in some way or another. It's just different times. Sometimes the times aren't right. It can all get a bit confusing, you see. This motion of moving between time, trying to find a balance inside. Missing my dad and I feel like I'm losing my mind. Whew. What's your name?
My name's Lucy.
Lucy. Lucy. I'll meet you soon. I shouldn't say because it sounds strange, but it's true. And Marco's your son?
He is.
And Paolo is too?
He is, yes.
And Roberto, your husband, is Italian?
That's right.
Of course. Sylvia to Rose to Charlie. Well, this is a story for you. I collect stories, you see. It's the only thing I can do. Travelling from place to place to discover what's lost, it's the only thing that keeps me amused. So this must be time for a story. From Charlie's rose that helped her bloom for me to pass to you. This is at a different time. Wait a second, I should stand for this. Story. This is, no. This, no. Alright. This is at a different time to the other time I was talking about before. I was sitting, where was I sitting? I was sitting here. And Charlie was sitting there.
On Marco's head.
And he was older this time. The season had changed to winter, so it was a bit colder. And he had had a daughter, a force he had never met before. Her mother hadn't much wind about her, but had found it hard to lift her own weight. But this girl, she was, it's 2013, was. Sorry, it gets a bit strange, past tense, future tense, present tense, she is. I might see her again, she is a vision of loveliness. And I got to meet her at this time that I'm about to talk about now. It is summer, 1914, and her name is Rose, and she's great. She's 14 years old, and when I last spoke to her, this time that I'm talking about now, she sat there and unemployed after being dismissed for, for defying her boss. She had led a protest from the asbestos pipe factory she worked in to 400 Ford Road. 400 Ford Road. It's still there, isn't it?
It is.
The old Ford Road. She led a protest from the asbestos pipe factory she worked in to 400 Old Ford Road. I bet you could probably still check it out now. So she marched for what she wanted. And she wrote what she believed. Her idol was Sylvia, that woman I was talking about before. And it was based her new existence on Sylvia. Grown, a bit posh, but cool because she was all for working with the poor working woman. Not for headlines, but for change. But to do this, she had to deviate. She had to leave her family and her friends, who were a mouthpiece for what should be done and why and when, but that bit isn't relevant in this context. So the part I love and remember is the part when Rose said that as she marched with these speechless feet, she realised that the most important thing that she could do was be true to what she wanted. The courage to stick to her guns and refuse to lose her morals and ignore people saying that she couldn't want more. And she said right here in this very room that all she would ever want is more. Oh my God, I get it. I completely get it. And the sheep. Oh, Dad, you are ridiculous. The point is, basically, if you don't count your sheep, then you never lose the count of your sheep. So then even when they're missing, they're never gone. Because you never counted them in the first place. Dad, you're crazy. Sorry. Just, it clipped, you know. It happens. So, the point is that sheep, I can't believe it. Don't count your sheep, obviously. The point is that all this time that I've spent travelling, I felt like I needed to give up because I could never find what I wanted. But what I didn't realise was it's exactly as what Rose said. Hi, Rose.
I am George.
You are George.
And he's actually called Rose.
If you focus on a journey as a journey, on writing, as childhood, as being, as just being, then you can enjoy the process and the freedom we are suddenly swept into, like it has always been. The point is that we all need to just be brave and forge our own ways, not try to recreate others or follow too close, because we'll just end up getting lost and we'll end up losing ourselves or our minds. If we can just collect stories that we need and then use them as a reference but not as a guide, then we'll always feel complete. Has anyone got a story that I can take with me?
Me.
Do you have a particular favourite one?
I haven't read it.
Alright, let's open it at any particular page and I'm sure it'll be perfect. Go on, Marco, go on. What's your name?
Albert.
Albert. Lovely to meet you, Albert. And you're George.
This was the first one.
This one. So this is a story that I think we should all need at some point in our lives, right, Marco? Little one. Little 2 eyes and little 3 eyes. Do you want to read a bit of it? Just a tiny bit. Go on, first line. Indulge me. Story time. Oh.
A woman who had 3 daughters.
Once upon a time, a woman had 3 daughters, and they lived happily ever after. Can I keep this?
No. Wait.
I've got to scan it then before I go. Give me a second. Thank you, Marco. Right. I'm off to find my next story.
Yay!
Ta-ra!